Dear student, good morning to all of you. I am LD Singh going to teach you economics. The name of chapter is Poverty a Challenge. In this chapter, I have given you 5 lectures. Today is the 6th lecture. In 6th lecture, we have to study regarding anti-poverty action taken by the government. You should know that what is the meaning of anti-poverty scheme. Means anti means against. How the government will remove the poverty from our country. That means to government, central government as well as the state government. It is the duty of the both government to remove the poverty from the country as well as from the state. Then any state, any country can develop with the help of removal of poverty. So what are the steps taken by the government we have to study in this lecture. That means anti-poverty measures. Anti-poverty measures. You should know that means on the two level the government is going to remove the poverty in our country. First one is promotion of economic growth and the second one is the targeted anti-poverty program. So for these 2 points we have to study. I am going to mention on the board. Anti-poverty strategy. Anti-poverty strategy of the government is meant it based on two plans. They are the number one is that promotion of economic growth. Promotion of economic growth. Do you know this thing? Near about 1950, there was only 3% GDP or economic growth in India. And after 1950, it was the problem for the government to remove the poverty and increase the economic growth. In 1950, there was 3% economic growth, which was the problem for the government growth. But the government tried to improve it, but in the year 1970s to 1980s, growth rate increased. It became 6% instead of 3%. So it shows that there was good economic growth near about 1980, and a lot of poverty or poor people has extended their life by the economic growth. From that time, In the 50-year plan, that is 10th 5-year plan was implemented in the country, and the government of India focused on poverty especially to remove it. So, promotion of economic growth, that was the main target of the government. The second point will be targeted anti-poverty. Targeted anti-poverty programs. Do you know this thing? There are so many programs started by central government to remove the poverty. Many programs launched by the government to remove poverty. After 1980, that means there was the economic growth, that means developed economic growth, progressed economic growth, increased poverty growth, increased the economic growth in these years. To remove all the poverty, the government has started so many steps to remove the poverty from India. Do you know this thing? There are large number of poor people living in village. So the government of India was paying attention towards the village area to improve the condition of poor people. In that situation, we have to study that how many programs were started by the government of India. So you can see that economic growth widens, economic growth widens widens opportunities and provide the resources needed to invest in human development. Do we know this thing? If we will utilize, exploit the human resources in bulk rate, there will be good economic growth in the country. And economic growth indicates that the country is on the path of progress. If the country is in progress, it shows that income of the people living in India has increased. If income is increased, people are eagerly to send their children in college, higher education. They think that if my children will be highly educated, they will get good jobs. If good jobs will be there, they will earn lot of money and there will be progress of the family. If the progress will be in the family, naturally state will progress and with that country will progress. So we have to study the program started by the government. Programs programs started by the government are as follows. Now, the first point is that, do you know this thing? That means these are the programs started by the central government to to remove the poverty. Now I can rub the board to write in details all these things. If these programs will be implemented in the country, naturally poverty will vanish from the society. Due to these programs, the people who are living in village area getting jobs, getting their salary per day in good quantity, good ratios, so their income is going to increase. So we have to study now regarding the steps taken by the central government to remove the poverty from India. There are some programs some programs which formulated to affect poverty, poverty directly or indirectly. And what? Directly. The number one is that number one, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. That means this program is started by the central government in 2005. It aims to provide 100 days work wage employment to every person in rural area. Employment to every person in rural areas. Do you know this thing? I have told you, lot of poor people are living in rural areas, means village. So the government has started this program to provide 100 days work. 100 days, do you know this thing? 1 month is 30 days. 33 is 90, that means 3 months, 10 days. A person is getting employment in the rural areas through Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantees Program. Work. And after that, lot of programs started by the government to remove the poverty. The second one is that wages. Total in this 220 crores person crores person get employment. Employment. Do you know this thing? 220 crore people are lot of. They are getting opportunity of job in rural areas. 4.78 crore household. 4.78 crores people are engaged in household work such as maid. Do you know this thing? So this is the great achievement of the government, in which you know this thing. Vulnerable group means marginalized people, in which there is SC, ST and other class, that means women. SC gets 23% in this. That means 220 crore में schedule cost 23% and ST age 17%. Do you know this thing? There are women also. Women percentage is 53%. That means women are getting job because they are not getting job in the society, but due to the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, women are getting 53% job altogether. New wage rate, in which government new wage rate given by the government, that is rupees 287 per day. So you can see how many people are getting jobs in rural areas through Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. The second one is that it is known as Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, that it is called PMRY, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Through this, it was implemented in 1993. It aims was to create new job. New job means self-employment. Self-employment is the thing through which you can do a small job taking money from the government. Self-employment opportunities for educated unemployment, unemployment, youth in rural, youth in rural as well as in small towns. So you know this thing through PMRY Yojana, educated person are getting loan from the bank, and after getting the training they are self-employment. This way there is less burden on the country regarding the poverty. So it is the number second program. And third program is that Rural Development Generation Program. Third one is Rural Employment Generation Program, PRO program. It is called REGP and started in the year 1995. Through this, government create 25 lakh jobs in towns. It aims to create 25 lakh jobs in rural and town areas. With the help of this program, government is trying to remove the poverty which I have mentioned you. So you already know this thing. The next program started by the government, I am going to write. You should note it. Only some of the part I am going to rub from the board. These notes are favorable for your knowledge in economics. These are very important things for your knowledge. When the classes will open, that means physically we will meet together to study, and then I will explain all these things. Number 4 point. Swarna Jayanti. Swarna Jayanti Gram. Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar. Gram Swarojgar Yojana. The name of this one is SGSY. It is in short and started in the year 1999. With the help of this data, you can make so many questions. When did Swarna Jayanti Gram Swaraj Yojana start by the government of India? You can write answer 1999. Through this program, it helps people with mix of banks. Bank is already involved through this program to credit and subsidy. It helps people bank, they get subsidy on the loan. Through this they get job. They get job for their life. Now the fifth point is started by the government. That fifth one is that Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Yojana in short form it is called PMGY, means Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. It had been started in the year 2000. Through this, government were trying to remove the poverty by providing to remove poverty through service. Many groups are started. Service means what? Primary health center, primary health, primary education, primary education, primary drinking water, these are the services provided by the government. And education means higher education. Primary means only up to 5th you can get education, study, but education means higher study education. Last point will be Antyodaya Anaj Yojana. Antyodaya Anaj Yojana. In short form, it is known as AAY. AAY, it has been started by government to remove the poverty from India. So, these are the steps taken by the government to remove the poverty from India. Now, the last conclusion summary will be given in lecture number 7 of economics. Then the chapter will complete. So you will be ready for the last lecture and study the lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.